Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a child's life was taken unexpectedly in what officials are calling something completely avoidable. And advocates take to the streets in Floyd County to keep Amber Spradlin's name recognized, hoping her story does not get lost like others.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is now 6:01 on June 21st. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Shane Smith for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Shane, we're seeing some, I don't know, I feel like it's cooler temperatures for this time of year. I don't know if that
is accurate.
Right?
That is accurate. We are seeing a little bit of cooler weather. We should be seeing temperatures in the afternoons in the mid 80s. Yeah. We haven't hit 80 in a couple of days here in the mountains, and there is more cooler weather on the way. Let's go right now to the pinpoint Doppler radar, and you can see we're tracking light rain that's helping to hold those temperatures down a little bit. We'll start out down in the Cumberland Valley. You can see some light rain around Middlesboro, back up towards Pineville. Also a few showers back over into McCreary County from Pine Knot up to the north over towards Somerset, over into portions of Lee and Owsley counties, Boonville, Beattyville. You're seeing a little bit of light rain in your neck of the woods. That's extending back up towards Irvine, just east of Jackson, some light shower action just south of Paintsville, Prestonsburg. You're waking up a little bit on the soggy side this morning, and as we slide down towards Harlan County, dry down there. But for my friends in southern Leslie County and the eastern end of Clay County, picking up on a little shower action from Hyden there over into Manchester. Everything going east to west today once again because that area of low pressure is off to our south. The air spinning counterclockwise around it, and as we take a look at our camera network, you can see a lot of clouds out there even where the rain is not falling. Temperatures into the mid to low 60s for most of us. Although Clintwood, you're at 59 right now, the local cool spot. And as we head out the door, grab the umbrella. More showers and cooler temperatures only into the mid to low 70s today. However, there is a warm up in the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes, Olivia.
All right, thank you, Shane. A young child was killed when another child shot him at a Jackson County home on Monday. State police say it was just an accident, but as WYMT's Phil Pendleton reports, some say these accidents are preventable.
A home in Jackson County became a frantic scene of police activity Monday afternoon, but police say it was all because of an accidental shooting. Yet the shooter and the victim were both children.
Besides just being extremely sad, my heart breaks for, that family, and what that might, mean for that child, pull the trigger. State police say the child who pulled the trigger was 7. The victim was only 5. But, it's not the child's fault. If kids need to be taught, if they see a gun, what to do.
The shooting is being investigated by Kentucky State Police here in Richmond. They say at this time they believe this was simply just a horrible, tragic accident. They don't expect any criminal charges to be filed. But some Kentucky lawmakers believe charges should be filed in some cases like this.
Unfortunately, a number of people do not secure them properly, and children have access to them, and those who are irresponsible otherwise have access to these guns.
Senator Neal's bill would make recklessly storing guns a misdemeanor.
It's not anti-gun, but it is pro-safety.
Child safety advocates say use of gun locks is another solution. The Safe Kids Fayette County Coalition has passed out 100 free locks in the past several weeks.
You lock the gun, so either typically by a key, you can't pull the trigger unless you unlock it.
She says the simple advice to kids is to never even touch a gun. In Lexington, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The name of the child who died in Jackson County has not been released. We now know the names of those involved in a 2-vehicle crash on Kentucky 114 in Floyd County Monday night. 25-year-old Randall Owsley of Prestonsburg was driving a 2003 Ford Ranger when his truck collided with a 2005 Chrysler van driven by 69-year-old Glenn Tuttle of Garrett. Tuttle was pronounced dead at the scene by the Floyd County coroner. That part of Kentucky 114 was closed for several hours. One man is dead after a tree fell on him while logging in Knott County. The incident happened on Black Hawk Road in the Kite community of Knott County. This is a developing situation, and we will have more information as it becomes available. With questions still unanswered as the investigation into Floyd County woman Erin Spradlin's death continues, her family and friends are taking the search to the streets. WYMT's Buddy Forbes talked with some of the people spreading her story at a protest in Prestonsburg.
She's gone, but she's not forgotten. Go cover up!
Advocates for Amber Spradlin gathered in Prestonsburg Tuesday
to demand that the justice system here in Floyd County actually put them in jail and prosecute them for the death of this woman.
in an effort to keep Spradlin's name alive in the streets as Kentucky State Police investigates her murder.
We need an arrest. No arrest has been made yet, and that was Sunday.
Concerned she will become another story lost in the shuffle, those who love her want the community to know the person who took away their light is still hiding in the shadows.
Amber loved everybody. You know, she was one of these people that loved with her whole heart, and it's really good to see the community come together, you know, raise awareness for such a senseless crime like this.
So they marched in her memory with signs of support. Some expressing concerns about 911 response times or agency lines, others saying they just want to keep the focus on their friend, whose life ended just as it was beginning.
She was so excited, you know, to be where she was at, to have a house and a car and everything that she had, and was so excited to have a new job.
Saying she may be gone, but her love lives on.
If everybody was like Amber, the world would be a much better place.
And with her memory comes a mission. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Her family says they are not trying to impede any progress for law enforcement by demonstrating, just making sure her name continues to be heard until her murderer is charged with the crime, hoping nothing falls through the cracks. 3 people have been identified regarding a heist that happened last November in Middlesboro. Middlesboro police determined Elvisia McLescu, Fabrizia Barbu, and Ion Velcu were a part of a 6-person heist after they tried to organize a theft at Antique and Modern Jewelry in Middlesboro. This resulted in thousands of dollars of merchandise being stolen. The 3 suspects got away before police could arrest them. One of the 3 suspects is also wanted by other law enforcement agencies in other states for committing other large-scale thefts. Kentucky State Police troopers are conducting an enforcement initiative this week aimed at commercial vehicles. They are calling it Operation Safe Drive, and KSP says it is part of a federal effort to improve safety on the highways. The enforcement will target unsafe driving behavior, which often leads to crashes involving passenger cars and commercial vehicles. Troopers will be looking for aggressive driving, speeding, tailgating, distracted driving, driving under the influence, and drivers not buckled up. The campaign runs until Thursday. 2 people were arrested in Harlan County when officials with the sheriff's office seized suspected fentanyl with a street value of $5,000. On Monday, officials were helping out parole officers at a home in Kaywood when an impaired woman had to be taken to a hospital. Both Michael Bones Myers of Kaywood and Stephanie Johnson of Hewlin were charged with importing fentanyl or fentanyl derivatives and possession of drug paraphernalia. Both were taken to the Harlan County Detention Center. Governor Andy Beshear's campaign and the Kentucky Democratic Party are refunding $202,000 in contributions. It's from members of London Mayor Randall Weddle's family and some from employees of a company that Weddle helped start. The Kentucky Lantern reports Governor Beshear's campaign manager says the refund is being made because a credit card in Weddle's name was used to make the contribution. The Beshear campaign said the donors themselves raised the issue. The Kentucky Republican Party criticized the refunds, saying in a statement it only happened after the governor and other Democrats were caught in what the GOP spokesman called a pay-to-play scandal. The parties who sued the state of Kentucky last year over the near total abortion ban is asking a judge to dismiss the case. Planned Parenthood and EMW Women's Surgical Center filed the motion Tuesday. They say they moved to discuss the case because the state Supreme Court issued a, quote, extraordinary ruling that took away healthcare providers' ability to defend the rights of patients upending decades of precedent, end quote. The providers sued to challenge the constitutionality of the state's trigger law. The law went into effect the moment the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Abortion rights groups say the legal fight is far from over. They say the strategy will now focus on having a legal challenge come from pregnant women being denied abortion services.
Well, it is 6:11 right now on Mountain News this morning, and we are tracking showers on Pinpoint Doppler radar. Let's take a tour of the region, and we will start things off out in the Big Sandy. And there is some light rain to moderate rain from Pikeville up to Prestonsburg, over towards Paintsville, back over towards Salyersville, extending over towards Hindman and Jackson and West Liberty. Also picking up on some moderate rain, also some decent rain over into Beattyville and Boonville this morning. Manchester, you're seeing a little light rain, hiding a few sprinkles still in your neighborhood. In London, we're dry right now. Same story for most of Somerset, although the west side of town has a shower just on the outskirts there. Middlesboro, Pineville, both picking up on light rain, and that is extending up towards Barberville. And we will continue to see those showers push off to the east or to the west and northwest over the next several hours as this area of low pressure continues to sit and spin. But it will finally move out over the next couple of days, and drier weather's on the way. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Shane, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, President Joe Biden's son pleads guilty to tax charges and a separate gun charge, but not all Republicans are satisfied. Find out more when we return.